Welcome to the Roadshow podcast.
This is the first drink that I've had. I thought you cheers me, motherfucker. Come on, man.
I was going in.
Cheers, bro.
Cheers, bro.
Congratulations on the new track.
Thanks, bro.
So, Trials and Tribulations, Part 2.
Yeah.
How'd it come about? I've seen a couple of videos online from it.
Yeah.
You explaining the music video and stuff.
Yeah, so there was a part 1 that I made like about 2 years ago. I lost one of my best friends since like childhood to suicide.
Motherfucker.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Like mental health itself and suicide is a pretty fucked up thing. Right now it's growing.
It's getting crazy, man.
It is. And so when I was a kid, a lot of people were committing suicide in my hometown.
Yeah.
So like when I was 16, the first funeral I went to, it was 16-year-olds.
What?
And that was like, that was back in high school.
Damn, bro.
And they were like driving buses from the school like to this funeral because the family of the kid, they wanted to show like other kids like how much of an impact it has on other people's lives. Mm-hmm. And then like I think it was like 2 weeks or a month later, one of the friends of that person did the same thing again.
Fuck.
So it's been like just to show you
It's
like
been in your life.
Yeah, how much it's been in my life since way back. But yeah, 2 years ago, one of my best friends. So back then, it wasn't really someone that was really close to me.
Yeah.
But this one really hit home.
Mm-hmm.
And then so I decided to make the song. Pretty much wrote it the same day that I found out about it. And it was bad timing because just a few weeks before I lost my nana.
Damn, man.
And that was like a mother figure to me.
Yeah.
So it was like losing 2 people already for me. And then 2 weeks later, I have another call of them ringing up and telling you one of your best friends has done it. So yeah, I did that song, and then I flew back home to Mackay and shot a video with his family. And because he got cremated, we shot a video like at my nana's grave with his family. So it sort of like had this double meaning to me that no one would really know unless I explained it. And then from that, about a year, not even a year ago, another one of my friends here in Perth actually took his own life.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, so he'd actually
So you've had like 3 significant like suicide.
Yeah, and he was more that I knew
situations.
about, but like really close to me. Yeah, the one like a year ago, he just got out of jail, and he hit me up to like come and chill, and he always gets up to not the greatest things, like he's gonna want to like smoke some weed or do something. So I was like, I never really hit him back because now I got 2 kids. I'm like trying to get my life on track. Like I haven't smoked weed for like 3 years now. So I was like, I just didn't hit him back because I didn't want to, I knew if I was going to go chill with him, we're going to do some dumb shit.
Yeah.
And then, I found out he took his life, and I was like, fuck. Like, not that he reached out in such a way that I knew something was going on, but I was like, fuck, why didn't I message him back? Yeah. And that like really like, that hit me hard.
When was the last
like,
time you spoke to him?
Before he went to jail.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I don't know, I forget how long exactly he would have been in jail for, but it was just like, that hit me hard because I was like, fuck, I feel like I could have done something. Even though there isn't really much you can do when someone's in that headspace, no matter what you try to do. Yeah.
Well, there's a lesson in that, obviously, right?
Yeah.
You've got to like maintaining relationships is a huge lesson, especially like trials and tribulations, going to jail and stuff like that. That's a hard, like, because you want everybody to get on with their lives. Like, I've talked to guys that have been in jail, in prison and stuff, and they're like, all their mates coming to see them all the time. It makes them feel bad because it's like you're putting your mates out to come and see you all the time.
Yeah. And
like that's even another layer on top of it. So when you get out and like they've continued on with their lives and stuff, like it's kind of hard to reach out.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then, so from there, I pretty much wrote the song like straight away. I was like, I dropped this first one to basically spread awareness and to, to try to save somebody's life, basically. Like someone is going through it, it gives them something they can relate to. Yeah. And because I've seen it have a chain reaction before, like I was saying when I was younger, like one person does it and then other people that are thinking the same thing but never had the courage to do it, you know, they build up the courage to do it because now it's someone they know that's done it. So that's why I made the song, and I was hoping, you know, to help people that were around me or people that were trying to that already lost someone from it, to try cope, a way of grieving really. And I felt like with number 2, like what else is there I can do, like further than this, to try to do more. So I tried to, with this track, it was more of like my grief, whereas the first one was more like trying to celebrate the guy's life, but also show that everyone's hurting. Whereas this one's like really showing you like this is what it's like when someone commits suicide, like for the people that
for the life that goes on.
Exactly. And then it was also showing my understanding of mental health. So like there was parts there where I'm sitting in a room and the room's all black and there's like photos spread out on the table. So it's basically like a concept of my thoughts. So there's all these pictures of people that I lost in my life, and then like ways of taking my life. So like there's like a noose, then there's like pills and a gun. And so each time I pick up the pictures, it's like in my thoughts, that's taking me back to a bad time in my life, like where I was having like a breakdown or just going through some really dark shit. And then when I pick up the thing to actually take my life, then I start thinking of the good things I have, like whether it's like chilling out with my friends, like the friends I have, or whether it's my family with my kids, like all these things that are going right for me, or the music that I'm making as well. So all these things that are going right for me, and then I realize, you know, I'm here for a purpose. I need to keep going, no matter how hard it gets. So then I'll put it back down again. And then at the end, I'll pick up the gun, and then that's when I've like built up the courage to actually do it. But then there's like a chick singing on it as well at the very end.
SPL, right?
Yeah, SPL.
Yeah, she's amazing.
Shout out to her. And
crazy singer.
And so this angel like appears behind me, and that's like her singing, and the word that she's singing is basically her telling me like not to do it. So like it was like I was really about to do it, but then it was like a concept of my nana basically, like looking out for me, like my holy ghost, you know. Like telling me, no, don't do it. Like it's better if you stay there, because there's nothing for you out over here. Like you can't do anything when you're gone. Why not like try to do something while you're still there?
It's a fucking good message, man.
Yeah.
And
that's why I come up with something I live by now is pass on the message, not the pain.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome. You should have you got t-shirts of that?
They're coming soon. So the one I was wearing in the video clip, it says depression. Underneath it says pass on the message, not the pain. That's something I want to do. I got a friend that has a clothing brand called Ascension, and it's about mental health as well. So he donates a percent of the money that he makes to like a charity, whether it be like
fantastic, that's fucking awesome.
Some mental health charities, and we're gonna collab with making the shirt. So that was just like a sample one I wore in the video. We're gonna make something with something on the back of it as well. And then we're gonna bring that out, and hopefully we're gonna try we're gonna go 50-50 in the shirt, and then out of our percentages like donate something towards mental health, or whether, you know, maybe someone that we know has lost someone to suicide and donate to their family for like a funeral. Like you never know when these things are gonna come up. So all the donations will go to things like that.
So it's gonna be like a pool, like a money pool kind of thing to help people out.
Yeah, basically.
Awesome, that's wicked. One of the things that I like, because I think if you're human, you go through a lot of struggles, trials and tribulations. And one of the things that like, I took away from like my own suicide attempt was thinking that I didn't want to be here anymore. But I didn't want to be a burden on anybody else anymore. And I think that spreading the message of you're not a burden, you just think you're the burden. You know, like it makes so much sense when you're in that situation of like sadness that you're like, if I wasn't here, none of this shit would be happening, and like I wouldn't have this struggle and be this burden for everybody else.
Yeah, because you feel alone.
You do.
That's what the feeling is. It's like you feel like you're not good enough for anybody, and like you can't really see past that. Like I've been in the same position. Like when I was younger, I tried to do the same thing. I tried to take my life when I was like 13 years old. And that's the headspace I was in. No matter what someone said to me, I wasn't listening to it because I already had my belief like this is it. like no one cares about me, and no one anything's gonna say, like people say to me, is gonna change that. And like I was so consumed by like all the emotions and going through all these things that I wasn't seeing like all the good things I had in life, or even suppressing the pain so far that I never had the courage to speak up.
Yeah.
Like if you just suppress everything, then it's gonna build up and build up to a point where you can't, like it's gonna break. And that's the point where I feel like you can't really listen to anyone.
Yeah.
Because you're so consumed in your thoughts that you don't pay attention to anything else. So that's why I feel like it's really important to speak up if you're going through something. And that's where, pass on the message, because other people could be going through the same thing.
Yeah, 100%. Have you had many people like reach out to you after you've been spreading this message a lot more, like any youngins or anything?
Yeah, I've had a few like friends. Like actually the other day I had a message from the brother of the guy that passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So the one I grew up with, and he actually messaged me saying that like he was like really in a dark place.
Damn.
And it really helped him, the song. And that like that was like, that right there was like, doesn't matter how many views you get or how many likes you get, that right there is what the song was bringing out to do.
Yeah.
And when you do that, it's like fuck, like it's really achieved like what I put it out there for it to do.
Yeah.
And like there's been other people too, and like, you know, radio stations that got behind it, because it's like it's something that everyone goes through at least once in their life. Or if not multiple times. Yeah.
What the amount of fucking like external bullshit that we go through now. There's bound to be like a self like validation thing that just isn't getting hit. Like online and stuff, we see all of these like fucking celebrities constantly, right? Just take like the validation thing for instance. If you see these people and they're doing fuck all to get it, and they're getting likes and comments and fans going crazy, and you're doing every single thing you can, there's something in your mind that happens where you're like, oh shit, maybe what I'm doing, maybe it's me, maybe it's not what I'm doing. And then you start to like reflect back into a negative kind of situation, like comparing yourself.
Yeah.
Because I think that's one thing that we do when we're very, very depressed, is not that we compare ourselves to other people, is we compare ourselves to our happiest times. And our happiest times, there's like a saying that's called, this too shall pass. And it's, even in your happiest times, even in your saddest times, this too shall pass. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
You know? And if you're constantly thinking about like, oh, I wasn't happy, I'm not happy, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this, you're not accepting where you are in this moment.
Yeah, and going back to the other point, just before you get off of it, is like with the phones. If you look at the statistics, if you look at the statistics of like suicide, before phones were a thing, or before the internet was a big thing, it's grown dramatically because like that's all kids do these days, is they look on a phone, and that's what they're searching for, that life that they don't have. Yeah, and it's like,
I agree.
Like even take for instance, go to like a show, like a rap show or an artist show. People are watching it through their phone screen. Like they're paying $300 to go to a show
to film
to watch it through their phone screen. Like it makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah, there's a lack of presence there, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and it's getting worse and worse. Like virtual reality and like everything like that as well. Like and TikTok in general. Like I remember being like 12 years old, being able to watch like a music video that went for like 6-7 minutes from start to finish. These days, like with TikTok, you can't even watch a video for like 30 seconds. Like you need the hook to be in the first 3 seconds, or you scroll on to the next one. Like people's attention span is going like so far down now. It's so hard to even get a song out there. Like if you have a long ass intro, they're not going to listen to. If it takes more than 30 seconds for the song to start, they're gonna turn off. Yeah,
I think it's
and go on to the next one.
Within the first in the top 50 viral charts, there's no song over 2 minutes. What the fuck is that?
That's crazy.
It's because like in these 30-second videos and these 1 minute reels, they're utilizing like a section of a song. There's a I think it was Fred again, again. Whatever the fuck his name is, Fred again. He came and did a show here in Perth, like a pop-up show. It went crazy. And he did one of these songs that went viral, and they knew the first 30 seconds of the song. And then after that, everyone stopped singing. Everyone. You could fucking hear a pin drop in the audience. Nobody knew a single word after the fucking first 30 seconds. Because they saw it on a video. They didn't see it on a fucking... Or like, they didn't see it or hear it on an album or anything, you know?
That's so true, though. Like, there's so many artists that have done that. And even, like, one-hit wonders as well. Like, you look at, like Fetty Wap, for instance. Or, like, even Lil Pump.
He can't even look at Fetty Wap.
Yeah. Or even, like...
You got that one eye, you know?
Or even like Lil Pump, like how J. Cole was trying to tell him, you know, that put your money aside or invest in the right things because the fame isn't going to last forever.
Yeah.
And like all those rappers in that, like that time, they're like nobodies now.
Yeah, exactly. Lil Pump did a freestyle rap and it was not even freestyle. It was pre-recorded. And then he just did a video over the top of it. And it was like, bro, we all know how it works now. You can't fuck around anymore. And it was still trash. I know people that can freestyle like 10 times better. And he recorded this shit.
That's crazy.
It's literally like that one-hit wonder shit. Like, it feels these days, careers are like attention spans.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, nobody's making it like an Eminem anymore. Yeah. Nobody's doing like 6, 7, 8 albums and really like having a full career anymore. It's like, let's get in, let's get viral, let's get out.
Yeah, and they're buying all the wrong things when they do. Yeah. When they get the money.
Yeah.
And probably...
the island boys with their fake teeth, the stupid fucks.
And then you get all this money from a label that's like, it lures you in at the start, but it's really just a loan. Like if you plummet and you get no views, no nothing, you still got to pay that money back in the end to the label. So you're buying all this jewelry and all this shit with the label's money. Yeah. They're making like 10 times off of you what like than you could have made independently. Yeah. But the only thing that they got to bring to the table that you don't have is the money and the resources, like the people that they know in the industry that can get your stuff put on like radio stations or put in front of people that are of some caliber. Yeah.
And I think that model of music labels, I think it might be dying. Yeah. You know, like, sure, they're going to be innovating themselves, but I just don't think it's going to be, like, they're not generating enough money anymore because the places where the money's being made are companies themselves. Yeah. You know how, like, back in the day, you get a fucking song on the radio and everybody knew it, right? Yeah. But you get a song on Spotify now, the barrier to entry is way lower because anybody can put a fucking song on Spotify. But they're not getting the same amount of pay as, like, radio plays you get like $1.29 per radio play. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But that was all over the world. And that's why, like, 92.9 and 93.7, that's why you hear the same song 100,000 fucking times a day. Yeah. Because they're getting constant radio play, right? But nobody's listening to fucking radio anymore. Exactly. It's all Spotify. You know, and you're not getting paid much from Spotify. If you get 100, what is it? A million listens, views, whatever the fuck it is on Spotify, I think it's $3,000. Yeah, $3,000 for 1 million streams. Like, you're not making shit off Spotify. You ain't making shit. It's like point something percent play or something, some shit like that. But like, I remember when being like 16. If you get 1 billion, you're only getting 3 million. Yeah, that's fucked. What? And how hard is that to get a billion? Yeah. And not to mention like the money you have to pay to get on these playlists if you pitch a song and it doesn't get like accepted into any playlist. And then like the money you're paying also for the distribution yearly. Everything like that plays into it. So you really, like, when it comes time to making that 1 million streams, you're not making, like, fucking nothing. Yeah, you ain't making much. I remember being, like, 16 years old, standing in front of the clubs, like, selling CDs for, like, $5 a pop. Yeah? Sell 100 of those. There's, like, almost, $500. Yeah. That's awesome. That easy, you know? And it's, like, these days, they don't even make cars with CD players anymore. It's all Bluetooth. It's all aux cord. Yeah. Like, I reckon radio will eventually die out of a car as well. No tissues? Just get up and get the fucking... Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Teslas don't have CD players.
There you go.
Yeah. And we going down this road, aren't we, in this conversation? I can feel it's happening. We're about to go into some fucking deep shit. The music industry's dying, but I don't think it's because of CDs. I think it's because of the barrier entry is so low.
Yeah.
And it's almost like decentralized entertainment now. You know how like porn used to be like all on like one website, like Pornhub or XNXX? Or
no, I don't know.
Sure. One book?
One book.
What is it?
Playboy was the first.
Yeah. It was Playboy. Yeah. We came from Playboy, and then bitches started fucking on video.
Yeah.
And dudes. I shouldn't just say bitches. Hoes. And then they monopolized it through the internet and made it free. And then we gave the power back to the people with OnlyFans. Yeah. And now they've decentralized porn, so you can know everything there is to know about a personal life of a porn star, right? With music, it's kind of similar. So first we had CDs and records, and then torrent came around, and you were stealing this shit. Remember, everyone used to download torrents?
Yeah.
Do you ever remember that? Yeah. And you would get all these fucking like janky fucking like versions of songs, but like there would be
the
like
bootlegs.
Yeah,
the bootlegs.
You know what I'm saying? And then Spotify came around and it decentralized it. So it now became like they did some crazy shit to get what they got. You know, like they got shut down so many. Have you seen the fucking documentary on Spotify?
No, I need to watch that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. There was this one dude and he's like, this will work. And like Universal, like all the fucking music labels were like, no, you're not using our songs.
Yeah.
And he took him to court and won. Yeah,
that's exactly going back to the other point. Yeah, is like the reason why they're not making their money, the labels, is because you're having to pay for distribution anyways. Yeah. Like there has to be a distribution company that's distributing your stuff. Unless you can have in-house distribution, like you make your own distribution company straight directed to Spotify and every other like major like platform there is, like Apple Music and everything like that. Unless you can make something like that, then you're still having to pay someone, a third party anyway, to make money off of Spotify. And the only way they're really making money is the shows and merchandise. Like that, I feel like that's the main way to make real good money is for shows and for merchandise now. It's like streaming, you're never really going to make much. And YouTube's like the way people bring out songs. Like you're not dropping a song like every 2 weeks or a month, so you're not gonna make that much of monetizing on YouTube either.
Well, I'm a clear example of that. I talked way too much about Andrew Tate, and my subscribers started falling like a motherfucker.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. I think it was like 40 a week for like 2 months.
That's crazy.
Just bang, bang, bang. So moving over to Rumble and Spotify.
Yeah.
Just solely. Fuck YouTube, man.
Yeah.
Fuck YouTube. YouTube's great if you want Mr. Beast content.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're too PG.
Yeah.
They're too PG.
I reckon there needs to be another platform bring out just for music videos. So something like YouTube, but something where it doesn't have everything else. It's just solely for music videos.
You hear about Spotify doing that?
No, I haven't. That's fuck the course. They're already taking over the game.
Yeah.
You know?
They've already got video on Spotify. So like my podcast up until I think it's number 45. I'm in the process of getting more and more on there.
Fuck, that's crazy.
All the videos are on Spotify. So music videos are now becoming a thing on Spotify. Damn. So you know how you used to have like the 14-second like. What do they call it?
The cover, like
the cover. Yeah. So you could have like a clip.
It's called canvas. The canvas. The canvas. Yeah.
So it'd be 14 seconds from your music video, and then it would loop.
Yeah.
But now it's going to be turn your phone, and you can have your whole music video. It'll have the canvas like straight up, but you turn your phone, and it'll have the entire music video playing along in the background.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's why you got a lot of artists these days are putting up like singles, and then they'll make it as like an EP later. It's because you can only pitch one song. So it's fucking your whole your whole album up.
Yeah, that's the plan. I think from Spotify's like position, they want people to put 12 songs out a year, and that would be the album. Then drop an album again, and rebrand it and do it again.
Yeah,
but like, how can you monopolize that shit?
But to be fair, I feel like singles they hit harder these days than an album. Going back to
that's your water, by the way. I got you that water. Yeah, it's fresh spring water. I filled that shit up. You can talk, bro. Yeah. Nah. You need to use the bathroom? Yeah, just walk out the door and ask the girls for the toilet.
My man.
Yeah.
For the too legit.
What were we talking about?
Oh shit. Oh, I forgot.
Spotify. Podcasts.
Yeah.
Music. Shit. Oh well. Cheers, bro.
I've lost it.
I like the whole that trials and tribulations thing, man. Like it's a good way to target a specific like I don't like when people target moods.
Yeah.
I like when people target feelings.
Yeah, I get that.
You know?
Yeah.
You know, like you can target like a fucking like a sexy vibe and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But like, can you target love? You know, you can target like
actual feeling of love.
Yeah.
Not like, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
I think that's what you did well, especially with the expression of your lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
Like the way you sound on the actual track, there's sadness coming from your voice.
Yeah, that's why I try to keep that one like as raw as possible. Like I wanted you to hear the pain. Like I feel like there's sometimes where you rap and you're thinking of the lyrics and you're trying to make crazy bars.
Yeah.
And that's like coming from the brain.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's other times where you rap and it's real coming from the heart. And it's like a completely different sound. Like you literally feel it coming from your heart. Like you're not even, like that's one of the only songs where I've written it. And it was like, I didn't even have to rehearse it after I wrote it.
Yeah.
It was like already in my head. Like I rehearsed it a million times. Like I just knew it off the top of my head already.
Yeah.
And that's because like it comes from the heart. Like when it comes from the heart, it's just like it's already there inside you.
You don't need to practice.
Yeah, you don't need to practice it. Exactly. And when it's like, whereas you try to do some really crazy bars, is like about some, you know, to make people go like, wow, like that's the shit you have to rehearse 1,000 times because it has no like sense of value, no meaning at all. Yeah. It's just like, this is gonna impress somebody. I'm just gonna put a bunch of like bars together.
A lot of rappers do that, man.
Yeah, no, I used to do that. Like I'm guilty of that when I first started.
Because like you do it because it's what you're inspired by.
Yeah.
You know?
No, exactly.
It's the people that you look up to are normally fucking good rappers.
Yeah.
And they go hard on the bars. Come on in. And when you're like idolizing someone for a long enough time, you do take their cadence and stuff, and you do take the way that they put together bars and shit.
Yeah.
But then after a while, you find your own style. You find your own cadence. You find your own flow.
Exactly.
You know? And hey?
You just find yourself.
You find yourself. Yeah, you find yourself in the lyrics too. You know? Like,
If you ever read your lyrics,
well, we need to get this motherfucker a microphone. You want a microphone? Should we join him in? Do you want to join in?
No, he's good. He's good.
I won't take the spotlight.
No, well, you won't be on camera.
Okay, I just talk outside then?
Yeah.
I don't need a mic, bro.
Yeah. Well, you'll be muffled on the audio, so
Oh.
yeah. I'll just give you a microphone. Come on, boys. And we're back in. See, now we got 3 mics.
Yeah. Just like that.
Can you talk?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, see, now we hear him too.
I can talk.
Sounds like the narrator.
The narrator, yeah. Now, what were you saying? So, like, when an artist is like fucking finding their sound and all that shit.
I was saying, like, people write a lot of songs, yeah, and the lyrics that they write, they always write a story about themselves, expressing it in music, yeah.
Yeah.
But they didn't read those lyrics they wrote. That it's actually about their story about themselves. They actually loved himself more. They're too busy performing the lyrics instead.
That's a good point.
You know,
rather than reading the document of what they've written.
Love what you write.
That's true.
Do you feel like you've done that in your song?
Yeah, with this song, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this is the way that I want to go with my music now. Like, over the years, as you said, like you developing as an artist, going from being influenced by like the people that you looked up to finding your own sound. I feel like this is the direction I want to go now, is like telling stories with my videos and with my lyrics. And like every song I want to tell like a different story, whether it be about my life or a situation or something, some type of story of some value with the song itself, and then with the video separately as well.
Yeah.
So like recently I've started like directing my own videos because I feel like I'm the best person. Like I wrote the song, I know the story of the song, so I feel like I'm going to like portray the story that I was like literally visioning in my mind when I was writing it. Yeah,
that's cool. I think complete creative control for people is very, very important. Yeah. When you don't have complete control, if you're paying a videographer but they also have ideas about the video, sometimes that can be the worst move for the actual video itself.
Sometimes it can be good.
Sometimes,
as well.
yeah.
Like,
if they understand it, you know?
Like as long as you have like your idea and the story, but then let them do like, you know, the cinematics. Like they know how this shot's gonna look to portray this type of feel, or like what it may be, like the actual shot itself. Yeah. But if they're portraying your story, and you find a way to mix those two together, like you're onto something crazy.
That's the difference between a good videographer and a great videographer. Yeah. Somebody that can take your idea, run with it, and make it better through themselves, rather than them trying to manipulate it to it just looking good, but it has no storyline or whatever the fuck it is.
Exactly.
Yeah. Have you worked with many great videographers?
So everyone that I work with is in my team. So we keep everything in-house.
Oh, gangster.
So like there's about 5 of us. So there's me, Afro King, KG Host, Coach, Fizzle, Smiles is, I consider him part of the team as well. Yeah. And like we all just sort of work on it. Like, so one dude's got a studio, he's good at engineering. Another dude's like gone to university for film. Like we've all got like our strengths, and we all use that to help each other's projects. Yeah. So one dude will video, another dude's like song. Oh, he's just recorded this song. He's got this song he wants to release. Oh, sweet. We'll all like help him with that, help promote it, and then move on to the next dude. The next dude's got his songs coming up. Yeah. All right, sweet. And then we do shows together. Like it's like having a label without the contracts. Yeah. It's just working off the trust of each other.
That's cool.
Yeah.
The brotherhood.
Because if you think about it, the only reason you need a piece of paper or a contract is because you can't trust that person.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yes, so sir. If you find yourself a small team, a small circle, and just not be persuaded by seeing what other people are doing, because I feel like that's the hardest thing, is seeing like the hype, you know, seeing what other people are doing. They're opening up for these big artists, or they're making these crazy videos, and thinking, oh, try not to jump ship and go work with them. Just keep to your small team and just believe, have enough belief that one day you'll be at that point. But like you need to have your time. Yeah. So you need to wait for it. You need to grow with the team, grow with each other, get the chemistry. And once you got that team, just stick like by the team. And as long as like everyone plays their position and everyone like has the same mindset and they're just as hungry as you are, I feel like one day you'll get to that point, and then you'll get to it with 100% like accountability for yourself. Yeah. Like it was all you. It was all you and your team.
I do thoroughly believe though, you do need belief 100%, but belief without action, it's a very, very delirious road to be walking. Yeah. You know, you need to take action. Like it's funny because you need to be patient with the end goal. Yeah. But you need to be vicious with the short-term goals.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying.
You need to go hard, get everything done in the day. Yeah. Like there was a method that I was using which is called 75 hard. Have you heard of that shit before? No?
The 75 hard challenge.
Yeah, the Andy Frisella challenge.
It's like the drinking water and like no alcohol and shit.
It's 10 things every single day that you need to get done, right? Yeah. And you do them every day. If you don't,
you restart.
You start again.
Yeah.
Right? And by this day 75, your life is so fucking different. I had a 75 hard challenge and I got to like day 72.
Fuck.
And I fucked up.
Damn.
And I was too much of a pussy to do it again.
3 days.
It changed my life, man. That's why the podcast blew up so much. Like, it went from like 300 followers to like 1,400 fucking followers.
Yeah.
And I was just like, okay. And then the followers stopped. And I was like, oh, shit.
Yeah.
It's because I fucked up. But I believe that you get given what you work for.
Mm.
You know, if you're working hard, you're doing the things every single day, hard, work it. Then eventually it comes back. It comes around. And that's kind of what like I see you doing, because you're always hustling. I've not seen you once and you're not talking about music.
Because it's not just like a hobby for me. Like it's what I live and breathe.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I found out today you had kids.
Yeah.
You talk about music so much. I didn't know you had kids.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's crazy. Well, it's not crazy. It's cool because you're so dedicated towards it that when you're in front of the people that you know you should be talking about music, you talk about music.
Yeah, that's it. But with my kids, man, that's another thing that changed my life for real as well.
Yeah.
Like gave me another sense of purpose other than
What
music.
you got? Boy and girl?
Yeah, boy and girl.
Boy and girl? Yeah. How old?
My boys just turned 3 last week.
Awesome.
And my daughter's just turned 1 like about a month ago.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
That's dope.
It's beautiful, man. Having kids is an amazing thing.
I want to have kids, man. I haven't had any.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not sure.
Well, I was smoking weed like every day, man. Like was doing some like just trying to live the life of a rap star, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, smoking weed, thinking I was cool, hardly working and shit.
Yeah.
And then when my missus got pregnant, I was like, that's it. Like,
it's over.
because the way I grew up, like I felt like was shit. So like I never want my kids to go through the same thing that I did. But I still want to show them as well that like not everything gets handed to you.
Mm-hmm.
So I gave up the weed. I got myself a job. I'm doing a trade. I got like about to finish my trade in barbering.
Whee!
So that's like, I guess like that's like the backup plan.
Yeah.
But there still ain't a plan B. Like this music shit one day is like my goal.
Bro, you got kids. I think that you need a plan B.
But my goal, like in music, or like my definition of making it, is just being able to provide for my family with just solely music. So be able to work on music every day without having to do another job, and be able to provide, not have to worry about money.
Yeah.
Like that's just making it for me. Nothing fancy, like just a nice house, you know, nice car, not anything crazy, but just enough, you know, to provide for them, to be able to buy them what they want, but also within reason as well. Also within showing them that you have to work for things too. You don't just get everything handed to you.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, like my whole life I've never got anything handed to me. I've always worked for everything, and that's why the hustle's so hard. And like I gotta keep going no matter how many times I'm like, fuck, this dude gets like everything just handed to him, whether it's like shows or dude, like teenagers getting cars off their parents and shit. Like I never got any of these things, but I just kept working. I didn't care. Like I was like, fuck, it's gonna mean more later.
Yeah.
When I work for this.
I got given a car. No, bro. I went to a school where I think like it was like 6 kids got given Beamers, and I got given a Magna, $500, bro. 1991 Magna, Mitsubishi Magna.
Bro, my dad didn't even have a license.
Jeez. Damn.
Never mind a car. I was always like catching the bus.
Everyone at school had fucking loud exhaust pipes. So you know.
Yeah, I remember those days.
You know what I did? I chopped down the family fucking clothesline.
Yeah. Stuck that on the back of the exhaust.
Bruh, I did.
Damn.
I did. Literally, I took down the Hills hoist. You know, the one with the winder fucking thing and it comes out and spreads up. We fucking welded that shit to the bottom of it. Couldn't do over at like 90 k's an hour. That thing sounded mean. It would backfire and shoot flames, but like.
But the sound was not matched. The sound was not matched.
You hear that shit and you're like, oh shit, this rice burner's coming down the street, son. And then I rock up and it looks like fucking grandmother's car.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. But like, I know some motherfuckers that got given everything and they got no work ethic.
Yeah, that's true. Because like,
you know,
they expect to always have something given to them.
Yeah.
They believe they don't have to work for it.
Handouts.
Yeah, exactly.
Handouts are like, people think handouts is giving like everything out, but like
Yeah.
it's literally the person's got their hand out.
Yeah.
You know, it's a handout. They put something in my hand, you know? And if you're doing that to your fucking children, man, you're not giving them like the best values to be growing up with.
Exactly.
Because like you're kind of teaching them that you've got security in a world that lacks security.
Yeah.
You know, there's no security in this world. Things can change instantly.
Man, I'm scared. I got a daughter, man, and she gonna be a teenager in like another 11 years.
Mm-hmm.
And the
And
world's
you're not a
already
bad looking
fucked
dude too, so
The world's already fucked up now, man. Imagine what it's gonna be like in 11 years.
yeah, true.
And it's not even the boys that scare me. It's the internet, man. It's the internet. It's like just that fact of like, as you going back to what we said before, like people looking on the internet and trying to be some, like looking at these things that they want to be. Like every girl wants to be OnlyFans model these days. Every girl wants to like,
You know?
and it's like, it's no hate, you know. Some people, you know, it's cool, you're making money, you're providing or whatever, but like imagine in 10 years time when your son or daughter gets older and then they start finding out about like sex and all this shit, and then they find your friend's mum on fucking OnlyFans.
Yeah, no shit. I don't know what that's gonna come to, because like I remember growing up and my mum was my mum was hot as fuck. No, I'm not even joking. Like if I was somebody else and I knew my mum when she was my age now, whoo, she'd get it. You know what I'm saying? She was like model quality woman. And all my friends in school used to be like, dude, your mum's so hot. And if she had OnlyFans, they'd figure a way to pay her $13.99 a month. American. Oh, did you know that that's the thing? Did you know that's the thing? They charge you in American. So if you're paying like $13 or $12, I've never paid to see a bitch's pussy other than at a strip club and the prostitutes. But one time, I told this story before. Yeah, like fuck, I'll never pay for a bitch's pussy on OnlyFans, like ever. Like, I just won't pay it. But my friend did, and he told me that they charge in American. So if it's like $15, man, it's like $27 or some shit Australian.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Just go to the club, man, and find some girl, man.
But go to a strip club.
Or even a strip
Get
club.
a handful of ones.
Oh.
All of them are sweaty ass pussies.
Yeah, but at least they know why you're there.
If a drop drips on you, then you'll be like, this, I had some pussy.
Yeah. Was that sweat?
This, I had some clitoris. I became...
Can you wring your towel out on me?
The victory is clitoris.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on OnlyFans?
Like, just what I said before, like, you know, it's cool.
Do you
like,
think it's going?
fuck me, man. Like, I honestly don't know. That's what scares me, man. That's what scares me is I don't know. Because, like...
If you could predict it, give us, like, 10 years. What do you think is going to happen? Do you think the majority of women are going to be on there in the Western society?
Yeah, I reckon that's going to be every woman's job at the end.
You reckon?
Yeah, because that's...
Yeah.
Not as a job, but
it's just going to be
It's an
another
easy
job,
way to
man.
make money. Like, do you know what OnlyFans was first brought out for? It wasn't never for like people
It was
selling
art
pussy.
and stuff, right?
No, it was like selling like ebooks, like advice and shit. So people like business owners and like entrepreneurs would put on like their like how to make money or like sort of what Andrew Tate's book is, like the Hustlers University, like shit like that. They put on OnlyFans so people pay a monthly subscription for the content.
Oh.
And then some
So
chick
it's like a
bring
background fucking thing.
Yeah, and then some chicks start putting their pussy on there, and then bang,
It's like
you can make
Telegram,
money
bro.
off in this way now.
Telegram was business, and now it's business.
Now it's a business.
It's just all weed.
Oh,
Yeah.
street
Weed
biz.
and pills. Actually, Telegram and Signal are like two of my favorite apps. Not because of weed and shit. Like, I don't even smoke weed anymore. Actually, on that, so I gave up weed, right?
Yeah.
And my body shut down.
Damn.
So I just want to make this note on the podcast because I think this is a very important thing to say. If you stop smoking weed, you could die. That's it.
Like, cause I stopped as well, bro, and I smoke like every day since I was 12.
Well,
I can't remember going a day sober.
I had chronic inflammation inside of my organs.
Damn.
That weed was keeping chilled.
That's crazy.
And when I stopped smoking weed, it flared up and I had to go to hospital.
That's
Flame
crazy.
on.
Hey?
It flamed on, eh?
It flamed on like a motherfucker.
Shit.
Yeah. I was not expecting it at all. And because I didn't know I had that shit either, you know? But, you know, the best thing about chronic illness? It allows you to look at yourself in like, what's fucking me up?
Yeah.
So I stopped vaping. I stopped, like, when even I had a fucking cigar, like, I was shitting blood.
Fuck.
Just because I have a cigar. Because my body couldn't handle, like processing all the chemicals.
Hold up, bro. I was going to use a toilet.
Oh, shit, mate. Weren't those curtains white? Nah. Yeah, but that, like, weed can, like, heal you if you're in a bad state. That's what my point is.
Yeah.
Not mentally. If you're in a mentally bad state, don't get high.
Well, they say the best way to do it is to like eat edibles.
Yeah.
Like not like edibles like cookies and shit. Like you can make a way to eat it that benefits your body. Because when you smoke it, it actually changes like what it's meant for and what it's meant to do. Like it can cause other bad things as well.
Oh, 100%. When you break it down and let it enter the body through tetrahydrocannabinol, you're getting the psychoactive version of the burnt plant matter.
As soon as you burn it, it changes the like molecular structure of the plant.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when you eat it, it's called a one pass through the liver, and it changes from tetrahydrocannabinol to 11-hydroxy metabolite, and that shit's 5 times more psychoactive than THC.
Exactly. And it makes sense why people get schizophrenia and shit from it.
Exactly. Exactly. So you think you could smoke like... So you could smoke a stick of weed, so like 1.3 grams, right?
Yeah.
You could smoke that easy. But if you eat 1.3 grams that's had like the decarboxylation method through it, you could easily get like a milligram. If it's good fucking weed, you could get 1,000 milligrams of THC. You know what a fucking 1,000 milligram edible could do to you?
You'll be on the couch for a week.
Bro.
A week at least.
It'll fuck you up. I went to... Do you recall the Mason Dane show? Did you go to that?
No, I didn't go to it, but I heard about it.
I went to that fucking thing, and I was on a 500 milligram edible.
Damn.
And people were coming up to me and like, Roadshow, right? And I'm like, yeah, how you doing? Jacob, man, nice to meet you. And I put my hand out, and I was like so far from their hand. And I was like trying to grab it. And they're like, are you good, bro? And I was like, I'm on an edible. And they're like, just like... And then people were just fucking with me all night.
Right, that's
Hey,
crazy.
you're Naruto trying to Naruto.
Dude, you know, like, you think you're having a good time, like, out in public.
Yeah.
When you're stoned, like, just on a fucking joint or something, you're like, you know, this is chill. But I was at that show, and I was on an edible, and I was, like, just chilling. I was starting to feel like, you know, maybe I can just chill. And then one of the dudes up on stage was like, Jacob, I see you in the crowd. And I was just like, it's like they moved away like 60 meters immediately. And I was just like, I just felt like in this space all by myself, like I could hear crickets.
You're in your own world, and then they like try to bring you back into theirs.
Yeah.
And you're like, fuck, I'm in a whole other planet, man. Leave me be. Dude,
I went to Hustle and Grind, and I was high on edibles. And like there was like Steez, Malassi, and fucking 6K Saf. They were doing an interview, and I was sitting behind these motherfuckers just like just trying to breathe through this shit. It was so funny. It was so funny.
That place is cramped too.
Oh, it is.
It's tiny.
It is. Fucking now that Zero's just doing it by himself, it apparently is way better for room now. Yeah, it's fucking way better because I think he's pulled the chair back a little bit, and not so many people. Like on the other side, you can have more people now. You know.
Yeah. No, exactly.
That's good. Have you been into like any good events recently here in Perth?
Me?
Yeah.
Fuck. To be honest, bro, I hardly go out unless it's my own event.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people invite me to stuff, but like it's a lot more hard with kids.
Obviously.
Like you can't just find a babysitter whenever you want. I never really I sort of had that fun when I was younger. Like I don't really like enjoy going out unless it's like for a reason. Like if I'm doing my own show or for something I generally like and like going to. Like the last things I went to a night out was like probably Juicy Fest and like R&B live. Like
you went to Juicy?
Yeah, there's some and like R&B live. There's like probably my favorite events. It's because like that's the music I like listening to, like 90s, yeah, like R&B.
Are you going to Culture?
I never even heard of it.
Culture is, you know, DJ Ramo. Have you heard of him?
No.
He's one of the best. Shout out DJ Ramo. One of the best cut fucking DJs in Perth.
Yeah.
And he does all 90s R&B and hip hop and shit. It's so fire.
That's dope.
He's so fire.
So he uses vinyls, eh?
Vinyls.
As well, yeah. Damn. I remember the best show I went, best R&B I went to. It would have been like I think 2019.
Yeah.
50 Cent played. And that's my biggest like influence. That's my favorite rapper of all time. Like 50 Cent and Eminem.
Yeah.
That's my top two.
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Seeing him live, man, and he like turned off all the lights in the place, got everyone to do their phone lights, and then done Many Men.
Oh.
Fuck, and it was like, bro, I was so wasted when he come on. As soon as he done that, I was like sober. I was like automatically like full sober, like zoned in, like I homed in on it. Like I was like,
you don't want to miss this shit.
I was just insane. Yeah. Like I was like, holy fuck.
I was in a car park, I think maybe 2 weeks before I got ill, like 10 weeks ago or some shit, leaving the gym, and I put Many Men on. Yeah. And like this old, she wasn't old, maybe she was like 40 or something. She was packing a pram into the back of a fucking minivan. And like, I had my windows down, and the sound system in my car is fucking loud as shit. I just love it. It's fucking doom, doom, you know? Yeah. And she starts singing along.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, bro. She fucking loved it. I was like, oh shit, she a baddie. She got hard.
The pram had some spinners on it.
Yeah,
had some hydraulics in the
throwing
back.
up gang signs in the pram.
That's hectic.
What have you got planned music-wise?
Fuck this! I got this EP coming, man. All like old school, like G-funk, like West Coast sort of throwback. Because my last name is Weston.
I know.
So
but for the fans.
Yeah, for the fans. And the name of the EP is titled West On. So it's like putting the West on.
West on, yeah.
Because it's like Weston, like WESTON.
Yeah.
So like I split it and West On. So it's all like West Coast, like pretty much thrown back to the 90s style era where like the Snoop Dogg and a bit of 50 Cent, just all different type of vibes on there as well, not just like all the same as well. Yeah. And all telling a story as well about my upbringing and like why I resonate so much with West Coast, and also like paying homage and showing that there's a scene for it over here as well.
I feel like Perth has the best scene.
Oh man, like lowriders and stuff wise.
The
lowrider culture here is crazy.
Because like everything's drill and fucking everything on the East Coast. Everything is drill, and if it's not drill, it's Afro beats, and if it's not Afro beats, it's a mix of the two. There are a lot of cool like little R&B. Like, do you know Larissa Lambert?
Yeah, I heard of her. I actually seen her.
I'll say
Instagram
this on
today.
the podcast. She is banging. She's so fucking hot, man. Like, there's not one. Let me show you this girl.
They're trying to get me in trouble, man.
Bro. If your missus gets upset at this, bro, it's like we're looking at goddesses. You know, like, what you get mad at fucking Aphrodite? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Look at this. What is this?
Damn, she big time. She got the Google search and all.
Yo, bro, yeah, she's massive. Look at this. What is that?
Sorry, guys, your guys' goddess is a blondie.
Yeah. You not in?
Nah, bro, I don't do blonde.
You don't do... Why?
Because Goku's Super Saiyan.
Are you all about that Goku love?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
He's a genuine
What's his missus name?
Chi-Chi.
Chi-Chi?
She cheated twice. No,
oh, isn't there... wait, he like slaps her pussy and he's like, where's your balls? Or where's your penis or some shit?
Bro, I don't know what episode you watched, bro, but...
That wasn't...
That episode did not come live on TV, man.
That wasn't Dragon Ball Z.
It was the Dragon Ball Triple X next level.
That was Dragon Balls Z.
That was Dragon Ball Ice Cube
That was Dragon
level.
Balls.
dragging my balls.
Dragging my balls all over her face now.
That was just Dragon Balls.
Yeah, Dragon Balls.
Shit, man.
Double Z.
Triple X.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? This girl's fucking like doing mad collabs. She's back and forth from like LA all the time. I see it on her fucking page. She's got like 100,000 followers. There's some artists in Australia that are actually doing wild shit.
Yeah.
You know, I think most artists that are trying to breach are doing wild shit.
Yeah.
But she's like mainstream. Like she's playing festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm like, she could be a massive artist in America. And we have her in Australia.
Bro, that's what I wanted to touch on too. When you just bring up that, is that's like a big thing for me at the moment. Like I'm finding it hard. There's a lot of people tell me to drop the accent, and like it's just the way I've rapped ever since I was young. Like at the start, I really rapped Americanized, like because that's what I looked up to. I've always listened to like old school rap, but now I found this sound that's like just me, and it's like it's leaning more towards American. And it's having this problem of like getting love over there, but not love where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
And like, of course, I've been trying to push my stuff over there because that's where everyone wants to get. You know, everyone wants to be. And then you can't tell me there's one. I don't think
necessarily you have an accent because you talk like this as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think it's an accent. I think people that are fucking questioning that shit.
Bro, it happens so much. It's not even funny.
Bro, you wouldn't go to a Picasso painting and say, why have they all got big noses? Like, why'd you use that color?
Yeah.
No, you let the art be the art.
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you questioning where they're from if that's how they want to do their art?
And that's my point. Like, if I was American, they'll be like, fuck, this is the dopest song ever.
Yeah, yeah.
But because I'm from Australia, it makes it different.
No, it doesn't.
For them.
No, it makes it different because they idolize Australian rappers.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? They're used to saying, oh, you're from Australia. Okay, why don't you sound like all this other Australian rappers?
Exactly.
It's like, okay, but 360 doesn't sound Australian.
100%.
Illy doesn't sound Australian. He sings with a fucking American accent too. Yeah, I love the fact that like people are using different ways to get their art across, and I love the fact that people use different accents. But you know what's funny? Nobody's rapping in Australia in a Switzerland accent. You know,
that's true.
Nobody's rapping like a fucking. You wouldn't hear a
yodeling.
Yeah, yodeling. Well, there probably is some fucking weirdo, but like you get what I'm saying. The music capital of the world is America. So what do we try and do? We try and capitalize on being there.
Yeah.
And if you can't be there, you can sound like you're from there and maybe do some things.
Yeah.
I don't judge. I like it. Don't change. Fuck them.
No, that's it.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck them. Don't change. If that's what you like, that's what you do.
Oh, I'm going to continue to do it.
Yeah.
Regardless. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
Yeah. And it's not like you're like, hey, you going, mate?
Yeah.
And then you go, well, let's get on stage, man. That's not it. You're talking like you. And then when you rap, they're hearing Americanized. But you don't sound Americanized. You just sound like you. Because you already sound like this. Yeah.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I've been wanting to clear up for a while. Because like I get it a lot. And like I can't wait for this EP to drop, man. Because this is like definitely some of my best work yet. I've also got a few other tracks going to drop before then.
What are you doing for marketing? I ask every artist this. What are you doing for marketing?
So I've been leaning towards more like doing content now, like with your videos on TikTok, Instagram Reels, stuff like that. Because I feel like that's where the majority is at these days. And then for as far as like the actual song itself, I'm trying to make a certain amount of like reels or content about the song.
Yep.
Because that's the best way to push it without having to spend money.
Generalized organic views?
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. And like I dropped one video on Facebook like for the re-up, and I spent like no money whatsoever. Good. It got like 2 million views on Facebook Reels. Beautiful. It was just as Facebook Reels just started coming out.
Yeah.
And I dropped a video on there, and then I plugged in like the song in the comments like to the YouTube.
Yeah.
And that blew the song up like organically with not having to pay for anything.
Perfect.
And that was the first part where like the first time I seen that happen, I was like, fuck, I need to try to do this for like every song. Find out what I've done in this video that's been different.
All right.
And has worked.
Let me help. So keeping up to date with Instagram's algorithm. It's made a change now.
Yeah.
It's harder to blow up content on Instagram because it needs to be more targeted to a niche specific now.
Yeah.
TikTok still blows them up.
Mm.
So target on TikTok a lot more than you would be targeting on Instagram. Still post to Instagram, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll get that same blow up
Yeah.
as you did.
I feel like Facebook Reels too.
Facebook's
It's gone
great.
pretty crazy because
Yeah.
like Facebook was dying off there for a bit, so they've like tried to come back with the Reels and like save it. You know.
Well, Meta took a massive dive,
Yeah.
and then all attention went off Facebook for a bit.
Because TikTok just took over because the algorithm was crazy. You don't have to pay for the ads.
All right, you want to know a crazy statistic? How much do you think Instagram's worth?
Fuck, I got no idea.
Ballpark it.
It'd be in the billions.
Oh yeah.
Like, fuck.
All right, so I know the figures off the top of the dome.
Yeah.
Right, 33 billion
33 billion.
Instagram, right? And then Facebook bought Instagram in 2012 for $1 billion.
That's crazy.
Now they're worth 33 billion. Now, in 2017, TikTok came out.
Yeah.
And they weren't worth shit in 2017. But now they're worth 65 billion.
That's insane.
Which is pretty much double
Yeah.
what Instagram's worth. So they're going to have more reach. And
Yeah.
I think most likely they're worth double the amount is because they have the attention of the youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you control the attention of the youth, what do you control? You control the future
Yeah.
because it's what they've acclimated to.
And that's all that's in every school. Like
Yeah.
you think about like when you're around friends or like connecting with people now. It's so much different to when you're in school. Imagine how many people you can connect with at school at once.
Yeah.
Like there's a school full of like hundreds of kids, and you're like, fuck, TikTok would have been crazy when we were at school. Like
Yeah.
if it was how big it is today, like you'd be running around school like, fuck, let's make a TikTok, or like, look at this TikTok. Like, you know, compared to like
For
when you're
sure.
adult, you don't really see as many people. You got to go to a job to go to every day,
Yeah.
and you see maybe a few people. And then after your job, it's like, fuck, I got other shit I gotta do. Like I can't just be like chilling with my friends whenever I want. Like going out, maybe that's once a week, twice a week.
Do you know what fucks me up? Is how many places that I go and there's like a significant drop in working like people. Like there's positions available everywhere.
Yeah.
Why? Is everyone trying to become a fucking influencer? Is that what it is?
Bro, it's so true though, because like even the
It
shop I work
depends,
at,
man.
they've been looking for people, and they're getting people from overseas now.
Well,
Like
we
the
got
job
locked. We got locked away for 3 years, right?
Yeah,
And a fucking good majority of people were trying to still make money at home. So the best way to do it is just become an influencer.
yeah,
Do the little dances while they wanted us to do the dances. Now the dances don't get shit attention at all.
yeah.
Am I onto something here?
Yeah, man. But it depends on what you influence, man. The words you use. If you just say that, you can say anything to influence someone
Yeah, exactly.
and get paid for it.
Yeah.
I do worry about influence or even just the term influencer, because they're not influencing the culture. They're being influenced by the culture.
Mm.
And if a person grows up as an influencer, what fucking skills do they have to give to the world if everything goes to shit?
Yeah.
Like, what you going to dance for me?
Yeah, it's never really made sense to me, like what they're influencing.
They're influencing people.
Yeah, but like what are they trying to put across to influence the people?
Yeah, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you actually, what's the fucking value?
Like fucking interviewing some people in the city about some random shit, about some stupid questions or
Yeah.
some shit.
Yeah.
That's someone's term of influencing, or showing your ass.
Actually, I know Jasky. It's at sick cunt on Instagram. It's actually SIKKANT. Check him out. Sikh, because he's Sikh.
Yeah.
Like he's Indian, Sikh.
Yeah.
So he calls himself sick cunt with an A. It's hilarious. And he does those interviews. Hey, please talk to us on the microphone. He's getting rejected 100 fucking times a day. And he's also a stand-up comedian. People don't know this. but he's the one out of all these other people. Sev as well. He also
Yeah,
does
there
that
is
shit.
people that are good at it and make a
Succeeding,
career out of it.
Yeah,
But
there's a lot that don't. They
Yeah.
go out one time and then it goes to shit.
yeah, and at the same time, those people that are succeeding, they're bringing other value in some way as well. It's not just about that. Like, they're bringing some type of value, whether it be like Sev talking about other things,
Yeah,
like apart from that, like generally trying to help people, like
help companies, help
businesses and stuff like
Yeah.
that, or like photography, whatever it may
Yeah,
be,
wedding
like
photography,
getting into
yeah.
those different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he's still bringing value.
Yeah,
Whereas other people, they're just going out there and making like funny shit. Why not get a job as a comedian then?
true, exactly. But I think that's the kicker, because being a comedian is so fucking hard. It's easier just to get a camera and get like a few likes and a few comments, but it doesn't pay the bills. That's the thing. It doesn't pay the bills, does it? Especially when you're starting out. Unless you got fucking upwards of 20,000 followers, you ain't getting shit deals, man. You ain't getting anything. Yeah, I put forth a couple of requests. Well, not even requests. It was just like questioning for sponsorship.
Yeah.
For the podcast. They were like, no. And I was like, okay, fair. I understand. I've only got, what, a couple of thousand people in totality across platforms. Oh, actually, maybe like 5,000 people across platforms. It's like, I get it. Don't worry about it. I'll be back. You'll see. But until then, I respect you for being upfront and honest with me. You know, like, I can't expect to be like sponsored with a small audience.
Yeah.
The people that are listening to the podcast right now, not right now, because it's not out yet, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Are the ones that love the content. They love having a chat. They love like listening to where this conversation might go. And that's who I'm doing this for. I'm not doing this for the dollars. I paid for all of this out of my own fucking pocket.
Exactly.
Why? Because I fucking love it.
Exactly.
I love talking to cool people. I love like artists doing crazy shit. I love fucking Carnival MD coming down and having a chat with me. He's going on a fucking world tour talking at conferences with Sean Baker, Paul Saladino and all these motherfuckers. They're Joe Rogan's friends, and this guy comes down and talks with me.
Yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck is that? And then I talk to like random philosophers, people that are like going to UWA for some things that they've like got scholarships for. I talk to fucking everybody. You know why? Because I like it.
Yeah.
That's why I do it.
Exactly.
And that's probably the same way you feel about rapping.
100%. And shout out to you for like giving people a platform to come in and do that. Like, and talk about their life, talk about like their experience and whatever it is they're specializing in.
It's not a shout out to me at all, because I love it, and I do it for them. I don't do it for me.
Yeah.
You know, I say that I love it, but I love it because I get to find out about other people.
Yeah.
When I was in real estate and in sales, I had an agenda.
Yeah.
My agenda was like, I'm going to be nice to you up front. I'm going to build rapport.
Get
and
them
then,
leads.
Yeah. Get the dream happening and then get the sale at the end and close this motherfucker.
I've done sales for a bit too. I know exactly the feeling.
You can't operate like that every single day.
Yeah.
Because every relationship you have, it's not so much like you can make good friends that if you're a good salesperson and you believe in what you do, you can actually have a good career. I'm not going to say it's a bad thing, but for me at least, I always felt that I had a misinterpreted agenda, and then I couldn't be myself. I always had to be this facade, but I was always curious. I always wanted to put the person in front of me, the relationship that we had together, first. But I knew in the back of my head that there was an agenda that I needed to uphold.
But I was exactly the same when I was doing sales.
Yeah, it's a very
because I was working
conflicting
from a
thing.
company that I didn't believe in at the end. That's why I quit. And like, that's around the time my missus got pregnant, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna do a trade. Like, and barbering was the one that stuck out to me.
Yeah,
because I feel like with music and stuff, it sort of meshes with it well, like barbering.
Yeah,
and like the idea.
You watched the barbershop. The Ice Cube movie.
Just watched it one time and then I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be a barber.
I'm a barber.
No, but like, even like thinking of the long run, like after I finished my apprenticeship, like being able to open a shop and be my own boss.
Yeah,
like that's been like another dream of mine since I was young. Is like I've always wanted to do something where I could be my own boss. And it's sort of like another way of being an entrepreneur as well, being a barber.
Yeah,
because you can work for yourself at any time. Like you don't need to. You
could have a fucking stage inside your barbershop.
Bro, I got ideas. I don't want to talk too much about it. I got ideas for what I'm gonna do. Like, just know it's like hip hop inspired. Yeah. And it's barbering together.
I like that.
But as far as I'm gonna go, but yeah, it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be nuts. Because I don't want to give away, and then next week I see fucking the hip hop barbershop open up.
Fair. If you want me to cut this out,
No, that's all good.
Yeah.
No, I want them to know too, because like that's been the dream since I started barbering. I was like, fuck, I'm gonna be able to get my ticket, and I'll be able to work for myself. Because the good thing about barbering is you never have to get a job anywhere. Yeah. As long as you got hair to cut. Like you don't have to go and apply and send your resume in. Like you can just work at home, or you can rent out a chair. Yeah. Like you can do all these other avenues. And the other best thing about it was when my kids are like old enough, like 16 years old, I can give them something that they can fall back on for the rest of their life.
100%.
I can give them that barbering, and then they can go out at the mines or do, I'm not going to force them to do anything that they don't want to do. Yeah. But at least I have this to always fall back on when they cut their friend's hair at school. Whereas like I'm selling weed at school, man, you know, and I was going down the wrong path. Whereas these kids can actually.
You were selling weed at school? I was smoking weed at school.
I was on the other.
Why didn't I know you back then?
Well, I was on the other side of Australia.
Yeah, fair. Mackay,
gotta bridge the gap. No,
I love Mackay, man.
You've been there?
Yeah, bro. I sold real estate in Brisbane and then all the way up to Mackay. I did that drive, bro. Brisbane and Mackay.
Yeah, like 12 hours or something.
Yeah, it was like 11 and a half, yeah.
Damn, fuck.
Yeah. All for one
house. No.
All for one house,
damn,
bro.
Fuck. That shit must have been in like Black's Beach or something.
No, it was started with a Somerset. Oh, no, that was the street. I can't remember the place. Yeah. But it was in Mackay, the heart of Mackay. The East Coast is. Do you know like Anne's? You know Brisbane?
Yeah, I know Brisbane. Yeah. Not like the greatest, but I know like a fair bit of places there and stuff.
Yeah. You know Spring Hill?
Yeah.
Right outside the CBD.
Yeah.
I stayed there.
I stayed there when I went to Brisbane last time, actually.
Oh, did you?
Spring Hill. That's where I knew where it was. I forget the name of the hotel, but yeah, definitely stayed there.
It's a fucking beautiful place.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why, but I just fucking love it.
The only thing is, don't drive a car around there because there's like one-way roads everywhere. You take one wrong street, bro, and it's like a 2-hour detour.
Yeah, dude. I took a one-way road and I got sideswiped, and I was in a rental car and it cost me like 10 grand.
That's fucked.
Yeah, it was fucked, bro. It was fucked. It was so bad.
That's when they say the traffic here is bad, bro. Fuck. Traffic like in any other big city is crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's bad here compared to where I used to live. Like Mackay is like you can get from one side of the place to the other in like half an hour.
Yeah, no shit.
Like it's not bad, but fuck, man. Honestly, I'm glad I moved here though. Glad I got.
When did you come here?
Like about 4.5 years ago now.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need another one?
No, I'm good for now.
You good?
Yeah. Yeah, about 4.5 years ago. So my missus' family moved over here like a couple years before that.
Right.
And then I had an opportunity to come here and like do music. So I was just networking like a motherfucker. I already knew I was gonna move here. I didn't really know when I was gonna move, but I had an opportunity to come over, and I met this guy, Ghost, who I'm with now. And I moved here with $500 in my name. So I had like nothing. Quit my job. I was like, fuck it. I'm going there. I was gonna live with my missus' parents. I'm gonna make it work somehow.
Damn.
No matter what I do, I gotta do music somehow. I'm gonna make music work.
Yeah.
And mind you, like back over there, like I was pretty well known. Like I was doing my own shows, and like everyone around town knew I rap because I rap since like I could even remember, like since I was a kid. And coming from that, like being so well known, thinking fuck, like yeah, I can do this. And then coming here, and I was like nobody, like no one knew who the fuck I was.
Ego died.
Like, no one, and it humbled me quick.
Yeah, I bet it did.
But then I met Ghost, and I went to the studio one night because I was networking with all these people, just trying to like find something to grab onto. Like I didn't want to just go to a studio, pay my money, record. Like I wanted to build a team from the start.
I feel you.
Like when I moved here, and then I met him, and then I ended up signing to this label, Concrete Block Records. Which is I don't think it's around anymore. Yeah, but it was pretty big like back in the day.
Concrete lasts forever. What are you talking about?
And I signed to that, and then that sort of like there was sort of like politics within the label.
Yeah, that's a fucking, like you said earlier on, man.
Yeah.
As soon as there's contracts involved,
yeah, and the guy,
trust goes to shit.
the guy that brought me in, like he was leaving, and I was like, fuck, I'm out too.
Don't get me wrong though, in saying that, you do need contracts if you are like hitting it.
Yeah,
like, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, 100%. It's to save your own ass at the same time.
Yeah, yeah.
Because there is,
fine print's a motherfucker.
because this game is fucking crazy, man.
Everything-
Like you never know. You could know someone for years and years, and you never know who's gonna stab you in the back.
Oh yeah.
And but yeah, so we left together. We left the label together, and then we were like, fuck it, we're gonna do our own thing. King was already like, he was always there from the start. So like, we just decided we're gonna do our own thing, and like 3.5 years now down the track. We've made a lot of music. Like I've come further in this 3 years than what I would have ever imagined out of the whole time I was doing music in Mackay. Because it was, I guess, because of the resources as well.
Yeah.
Like back home, can't just go to a studio. There might be some dude that has a nice laptop and a nice mic. Maybe it's different now, but when I was growing up, that was all there was.
Bro, every second house has a fucking mini studio in it.
Yeah, yeah, it's different now. But like, even looking at my hometown now, like there's not many people really making quality music. Like there's a few rappers out there, but they're still not, like they're still stuck in the same spot I was that many years ago.
Yeah.
Like there's people I used to look up to back home. When I was a kid, they used to do shows for like bigger artists that would come in, and I was like, fuck, I wish I could be like them one day. And I had an opportunity to open up for like Justice Crew and that when I was like 16.
Oh, for real?
It was my first time on stage. I forgot everything I was gonna say. Forgot all the lyrics. I just freestyled it.
Really?
And it was crazy. It was probably like one of the biggest crowds I ever had. And I was shit as anything. Like looking back on it, I was so shit. And those people that were rapping, they're still rapping now, but they're still like in the same spot.
Yeah.
They were back then.
Yeah.
And like seeing how far I've
progression.
come. Yeah, seeing how far I've come, like being over here. Like I never delete any of my stuff.
Good.
Like the stuff that I've put
Keep
up.
it.
If you go and do some digging and go right back, you'll find the shit from like 12 years ago.
Don't need to, bro. I don't need to.
Yeah.
I don't need to.
But
basically, because you know where you've come
yeah,
from.
and for me, like I love it because like I'll even go back and search that stuff up sometimes.
Yeah.
When I'm in a spot where I feel like a creative block, or I feel like I'm not going
go
anywhere.
back.
Yeah, I'll look at it. I'm like, fuck. Like, look how far I've come.
Yeah.
I watch that one and then I'll watch like some shit I just dropped.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, fuck, like I've come so far. In just this time, imagine what I can do in another 5 years.
That's what I think is wrong with this fucking TikTok culture. Is like people get in, get out real quick with their career, and there's no progression. You know, it's like a lot of that shit kills careers, man.
Well, for me, like music has always been a therapy. So it's more than just making music for content. It's been like, it's got me through the darkest times of my life. Even going back to the mental health thing, is like it's got me through points where I thought like I was gonna end it because I didn't feel like I could talk to anyone, but I could always talk to like myself, as in through music.
Yeah.
Like I could always write down my feelings, and it'll feel like fuck, I've released it and I've made a positive out of a negative.
Yeah.
Like out of something negative. Same with that song Trials and Tribulations, and same with anything I've been through. Like grew up not knowing my mother, which is something first time I've probably ever talked about live. Is like I grew up not knowing my mom. Crazy. I got taken away from her when I was a kid. When I was about I would have been like, I think I was like 6 months old or something. We left her. She was just toxic person. I've never met her to this day in my life. I've spoken to her like a handful of times over the phone, and like I don't know too much. Man. Yeah, I don't know too much, but I know she stabbed my dad when she was pregnant with me. So that's some pretty heavy shit. And on my 18th birthday, she called me up for the first time, and she tried to. It was on my 18th birthday. I was on the way to work. She called me up for the first time. I made this song like on Facebook about her. It was just like me in front of my camera, just rapping about like what I knew about her really. And then she calls me up and she's like, "Oh, start making songs about me." First words I ever heard from her. And I was like, "What? Like, who is this?" And she's like, "It's your mother." And I hung up. I carried on to work, and then I kept getting all these calls, and then she left me like a voicemail and told me something that like only she would know. So I was like, fuck, maybe this actually is my mother. And I called her back, and then she's like saying to me, basically, this is some proper Eminem shit, bro.
So you thought that wasn't your mom?
Yeah, because I never heard her before in my life. And like, but then she said something on the voicemail, was like, oh fuck, like, now I understand that, like, she said my name, my date of birth, like, she's like, I know, like, this, and this, and I was like, oh fuck, this has got to be her. Like, no one else would know these things. And then I called her back, and I was like, started talking to her, and she's like, this is some Eminem shit, bro. Straight up, I could not make this shit up. She says, delete the song, or I'm gonna sue you. Like how Eminem's mum sued him, and I was like, it's not even that deep. Like, it's just like a little video on Facebook. Like, it's not like I've gone out and put it like everywhere and fucking. Like, I wasn't even anything back then. It probably had a couple hundred views, and I was like, you know what, all good. I took it down so that I'd never have to talk to her again.
Still got it?
Nah, I took it down. It's gone. Damn. But I wrote a song like off the back of that I still got to this day that I never released. That I done once in like this live.
Release it and name it after her.
This, I will. I might get sued, but
no, fuck it. No, you can't. Talking about your mom.
But as long as I mention her name, because in that track I mentioned her name.
Yeah.
So apparently, like, you can't get sued if you mention the actual name.
Yeah. But just find someone else that's named that person. Say I'm talking about that.
Talk about that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
But yeah, and so they out of that, and then even my upbringing, like how that affected my.
What was it like? Just on your personal like perceptions, what was it like growing up without a mum? Because I didn't grow up without. I grew up without a dad. Yeah. So what was it like?
It's pretty fucked up because like your mom's like meant to be the person that you like. You go to, like, your dad is the one you play with and shit, right? Like, that's the way I see it because I got kids now. Like, I feel like your dad's like the one you go and play with and like, you know, and you be strong for, but the mum's the one you go to like when you're upset and like when you got like you want comfort.
The backbone.
Yeah, exactly. And I never had that, and for me that was my nana. That's where going back to that point where I said like I lost two people that year. Yeah. Was like
your mom and
my nana. It was like my mom because like we grew up in her house. My dad always lived with my nana. Yeah. Like all up through growing up. So she was like the one that would cook the dinner. The one I went to. The one I learned everything about like life, I guess, in general. And she was like my main person because my dad was always drinking growing up. Like he was always fucked up from what happened to him before I was born. Yeah. But one, like, not trying to say he's a bad dude because like the best thing he ever did was take me away from her, and he always tried to provide with the best he could. Yeah. Like he always made sure there was a roof over my head, always made sure I ate, even if it wasn't like the best food, but he always made sure I had clothes on my back. Yeah. You know, always made sure I was cared after.
Fuck, man.
But yeah, the drinking thing was crazy, you know, like, and it got to a point.
Was he a drinker?
Like
your dad?
Yeah, like full on, like get up in the morning, crack a beer,
damn,
smoke cigarettes like a chimney, like.
Well, now that you're a dad, you see the contrast of what it's like to have a real mum around. Yeah. Right. Like for you could look on your kids and say, oh, they have a real mum.
Yeah, exactly. Like I've been with my partner for 10 years now.
Damn, dude.
Since we were 15.
Holy shit! So, yeah, congrats.
I've never been out like.
I haven't held a relationship longer than fucking 2 years of my life.
I've never been out like that, you know, on the town or anything like that. But well, but I believe like once you find, especially in this day and age, once you find a girl that's like doesn't care about that social media shit, doesn't care about the way they look, like within reason, like they don't care about like what people think about them.
Yeah, it's not their soul care.
Yeah, like her soul care is family.
That's awesome.
And me. And once I found that person, I was like, I wouldn't want anyone else to be the mother of my kids. Because I feel like when I look at her, it sounds like a bit weird, but like when I look at her, I was like, fuck, that's like the mother I wish I had. Yeah. As weird as it says.
No, that's good. That's good.
The way that she nurtured for me and stuff and cared for me, I was like, fuck, that's some love that I never knew in my life. Yeah. And I was like, that's a keeper, you know, and to this day, I wouldn't want anyone else to be the mother to my kids.
That's dope. I can tell you the other flip side to that coin, which is your dad not sticking around and your mum sticking around. Yeah. Is you probably saw a lot of what your dad was and you didn't want that with the alcoholism and that.
Yeah, right? It was crazy, man.
You didn't want to be that. Well, I didn't have a reference point for that.
Yeah.
I just had my dad. And then I had my stepdad come into my life, and that motherfucker was like my best friend. He wasn't like a dad to begin with. He was like my best friend. We used to hang out, go on the boat. The first time I ever smoked weed was when I was 11 years old.
Yeah, with him.
No. I stole from him. But then, like, I was smoked weed with him at like 13, 14 years old. It was dope. He was like my best friend.
Yeah.
Look, he didn't. By the way, just for a fucking side note, he didn't say, "Hey, smoke this fucking weed." It was me that was like, "No, I want to fucking chill with you. Let me smoke some weed." And he's like, "Well, I'm not your real dad. You can do whatever the fuck you want to do." You know?
Yeah.
But now he's my real dad. You know, my real father, and I open up on the podcast all the time, so I'm gonna open up right now, motherfucker.
Yeah, go hard.
3 years ago, I get a phone call. Your father's dead. He died on his back in a meth clinic. And I was like, my father's well and alive. I don't know what you're talking about.
So you're thinking your stepdad at this point?
Sir.
Yeah. All right.
And they said, no, your biological father's dead. And I was like, damn. He left me when I was 1. I never met that motherfucker. So, good riddance. Doesn't matter. Then I get a phone call about a week later saying, are you coming to collect your brother? And I was like, my brother? What are you talking about, my brother? I've got one brother, Travis. He's 3 years older than me. Where do I need to collect that motherfucker from? They're like, no, we're talking about your 11-year-old brother. And I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, Tyrone, your brother. And I was like, I don't know who you're talking about, love. I've got one brother. And they're like, no, Tyrone Rhodes, your brother. And I was like, who is this? And they said their name, and they're from an orphanage in Melbourne. And this motherfucker did it to another family. So he had me and my brother with my mum fucked off, and then did it to another lady. And then she was mentally not there. And then he took the kid and then left the kid at an orphanage at the age of 4 years old.
Bro, that's...
So he was in the system
heavy.
for 7 years. That motherfucker was alive for 11 years before I knew that he existed. And they only came to me and told me that he existed after that motherfucker died, because they knew how bad that guy was as a person.
That's heavy. That's heavy.
So what that does to a person, like as a child growing up without a dad, when you're the same, I think this is very relative. When you're the same gender as the person that abandons you, it leaves you with a void of how you should be or how you shouldn't be. So I had to make up this figure of what a real man was, and then try and attain that, and have to learn. Don't even worry about it, I'll vacuum it.
Oh yeah, awesome.
I had to figure out what a real man was, or figure out what a real man wasn't, and stay the fuck away from that.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. And then when my mum met my real stepdad, my real stepdad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My real dad, but he's my stepdad.
You can basically say he's your real dad.
He's my real dad.
Yeah,
he's a motherfucker of a human, bro.
Bro, he's the one that, like, having kids now, he's the one that stood up and, like, fucking done what your dad couldn't.
Exactly. And he didn't, like, I wasn't from his balls, bro.
Yeah.
And he still provided me with a life, provided for my mum, but she was a babe. And he was a fat fuck. You know what I'm saying? But he knew what he had to do. He had to provide and, like, treat the sons with respect. And he didn't respect us. He was just like, I want your mum. You're coming along. But also, you guys are fucking cool too. So,
yeah.
You know?
Nah, that's cool.
And it takes a real man. I believe wholeheartedly, because I grew up with this motherfucker. It takes a real man to take on somebody else's kids.
Yeah.
But it takes a even more real man to stick around with your kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
he's not just there to like for that girl. Like once he was in, he was all in.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
And that's hard.
That was his whole family.
That's hard when, like, because now he's got a legacy that he might have never had.
Well, he had the mumps when he grew up. So he could never have kids. They tried for IVF and everything. He couldn't have kids. So he was like, that brought him closer to us.
There you go, and look at that. Yeah. He's still got a legacy to leave. He'll still live for you.
Exactly,
you know?
exactly.
And then for generations to come, like, I believe that with my kids too. And I felt like I was the one that had to break the cycle for my family. Yeah. Because I feel like my family are like, they're easily addicted to things. Like, and they're easily like, my family's been through a lot of pain. Mm. And like I grew up watching it. Like I grew up watching my dad scrape up money to buy cigarettes, and like scrape up money to buy alcohol, like still does today, and like it hurts me. Like as much as I love him, I know like I can't tell him, nah, you shouldn't be doing that, because like that's just who he is now. You know, it's to that point where it's like you gotta love him the way he is, and just be like, yo,
accept it,
sweet, yeah, I can give you some money or like whatever it is for whatever. But I grew up thinking like this is never what I want to be.
Yeah.
When I grow up, and like
you fix that part in the gene pool.
Yeah, and I was an only child. Like I had a half sister that was on my mum's side, so a different dad but same mum.
Yeah.
And my dad could never take her away because he wasn't biologically
his.
Yeah. So he wanted to take her when he took me, but he couldn't because she had to stay with her. And I heard a lot of stories like from her about how much she's like my mum's fucked her up.
Damn.
And like to the point where like when I was like 10 or like when I started like questioning about these things, I didn't believe like all that my dad was saying. Like I was like, nah, this can't be true. Like my mom was coming back or like whatever. It wasn't until
you go through those parts.
It wasn't until like her family, like my grandparents on that side and my auntie and stuff, her sister, they started telling me like don't have any contact to her. Like she's not a part of this family. Like she's cut off completely from the family. Like don't ever associate yourself with her. And like I guess to that point where like when I got that call, it was like I never met this person.
Yeah. Like
I'm sure like you might have felt something like when you got that call about your dad, but it gets to this point where like you've never met this person. Like there's no chemistry, there's no anything, there's no attachment.
There's no attachment.
Yeah, to that person. So you just don't feel anything at all.
Literally today, I went over to see my mother, and she showed me the package that we got of all of the stuff that was left on his person when he died, and he had his necklace, his wallet, all his cards and stuff in there. And I was like, it just looked like somebody else's shit. You know, like she's like, yeah, this is the necklace he used to wear, and I was like, and this could be any fucking person, like, but I know the people that like loved him would appreciate that. Yeah. But he wasn't around to give me the capacity to love him. So like, why the fuck would I care?
Exactly.
You know, like, thanks for the life, thanks for giving me life, but adios.
And that's the point where like I'm at this point now in my life, like where, you know, everyone's getting older and stuff, and like now I've got kids. I'm sort of stuck at this point where like I want to go and like meet my mom just once.
Do it 100%.
Because like
I
feel
wanted
like
to do that shit
with my kids. I'm like fuck.
Just not even to see how bad it's gotten.
Yeah.
Not even to like. It's just
for my own closure.
It's not even closure.
Yeah. It's for my.
It's just to see how fucking good you made it without her.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
Like she was around. She could have been around for this.
Yeah.
She could have been around. She could have been in positive lyrics. Could, you know what I'm saying?
The craziest thing is like one of the times I did talk to her, I don't even know if it was true, but she actually brought up some stuff about like her doing music, and she was trying to like use that as like, I guess like some sort of common grounding, and she was trying to say that like, oh, that's the reason you do music, it's because of me. And I was like, hell no, it's not because of you. Like it's got nothing to do with you. It is because of you in a way.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Not because of that. Like it's because it helped me get through the shit.
Yeah.
But it's not because like
she didn't lean into it. You did. Yeah, obviously.
And like fuck,
she ain't sitting there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly. But yeah, like fuck, and yeah, just like even school, man. I like to touch on the subject about school too.
Yeah,
like how I first started with music. So like the first time I ever heard rap. So my dad used to listen to the Beatles and like fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers and shit. I never even heard rap. I never even listened to it. It wasn't until I was like doing some bad shit, getting up to no good, and I stole this iPod out of a car, and it was full of Eminem and 50 Cent.
Bro, did you steal my iPod?
No. At the time I was thinking, fuck, maybe I shouldn't have stole his iPod. It's full of rap music.
Yeah. El Diablo.
Yeah. And then
but you stole an
iPod. I started listening to it, and this was like around the time when I started to question about my mom and shit like that. And I was like, fuck. Like when I heard the Eminem tracks, I'm like, fuck, I relate to this.
Yeah.
Like this shit is so relatable.
Yeah.
And then like found 50 Cent and like Wu-Tang Clan and like all these other rappers, and I was like, fuck, the shit that they're talking about, fuck the Beatles, bro. And like
Fuck
the
the
Beatles
Beatles.
is dope, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
they're dope, but like to me and like my relatability, like this is my life right here.
The Beatles are dope if you're 48 years old and doing acid, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's
Like they're the biggest thing in the world at the time when they were out and whatever. But like,
but that wasn't
for my relatability now. Like even though
it didn't
these dudes,
resonate with our generation.
yeah, even though these dudes done it in the 90s, bro, it still resonates with me today. Like their story, and that's
100%, because they were storytellers.
Yeah.
People these days aren't storytellers.
exactly, and that's where I first heard rap, and then when I went to school, I started getting right into music. Like, remember I done like in high school, done marine biologies. I dropped that, started doing music twice a day. I'll go to the music room every lunchtime.
Nice.
Everyone be playing footy on the field because everyone wants to be an NRL fucking player from Mackay.
Yeah.
They want to play for the Cowboys. So everyone's playing rugby league, and I'm in there every day, just recording. I even had this room, like those are like a few like little shitty like recording rooms in the music rooms.
Yeah.
And I had this room that was like set up for me. I had like this mic with like a coat hanger. I like made into a circle with a stocking over it
So
for the pop filter.
Oh.
Yeah, for the pop filter. It was like a round thing like that with the coat hanger, and then I put a stocking over it.
Jesus.
I had like this
Did
ghetto.
you wear that stocking for the iPod too?
I had this ghetto ass setup, bro. And then every lunch, every like period they do music, the teachers said to them, never touch that room.
Yeah.
Because he's coming back in
He's
at
coming
lunchtime.
back, yeah,
Like, don't touch it and don't fuck with his shit. He's coming back. Like, he's here every lunchtime. I'd stay back after school. Like, that's all I'd ever do, man. Is like, and when I started smoking weed, all I'd do is go home, like a recess, get high, come back, do music.
Shit. I'll tell you a story.
Like
When I was like 12, 13, 14, I loved Eminem, bro. I was in like FAC. Remember FAC? FAC.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking camp. That song fucked me up so much that I was just jamming it out, and I thought it was a hard cunt.
Yeah.
And I went into like the locker room this one day, and I was kind of like I wasn't kind of. I was the fat kid at school, so everyone would call me Jenny Craig Wobbletits. I know, it was a good fucking line.
That's a
but
mouthful
it
of a fucking
fucked
name.
me up back then, I'll tell you.
Damn.
And then I would take it out on other people, this anger that I had.
Yeah.
And so this other fat fuck that I would be like, "Hey, you're fatty," and he's like, "You're as fat as me, you fat piece of shit." And I was just like, "Yeah, but you fat though."
You fat.
This cunt like held a knife to my throat, like right in my jugular, and I was like, "Damn." We became best friends. Like, I was like, "I like this guy," and then I got into metal. I became a metalhead, but I was the only cunt that was a metalhead and a fucking rapper. So you could put on any fucking song, and I would like love everything, right?
Yeah.
And it really fucked me up because I was like, "Oh, which route do I take?" Because you know how like schools were. You're like, you're either a fucking metalhead or you like rap.
You either growing your hair out.
Yeah. You choose, motherfucker. So
Playing the drums.
Yeah. So I became a metal screamer. That's how I fucking. That's how I operate.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's harder to do. People think it's like the dudes are screaming into the mic, but I've watched like videos where people are trying to do it. Like, it is not. It's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy. It actually took me years to develop it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the reason for the story was like I feel like at that time in our lives, the 12, 13, 14, 15, that's when we find what we really like.
Yeah.
And I've always like guitar tattoos, demon tattoos. I got a microphone tattooed there.
Yeah.
On a Grim Reaper. Like,
because you're looking for something to grab onto.
it's,
Like,
yeah. You're looking for the most. What I think it is you're looking for the hero's arc.
yeah.
Right? You're looking for like Eminem, right?
Yeah.
We all know that crack was an epidemic in America,
Yeah.
but he went through the arc and still carried himself like he was a fucking method. Let's not be fucking brash about this.
Yeah.
He was on drugs. He was doing all this crazy shit.
That's why he made the best music.
He made the best music, but he also figured his own psychology out at the same time, and then fucking like made it out like he was the psycho one. He was Slim Shady, don't get me wrong, but he was also the one that was making the most sense. He didn't understand why he was being sued, but he knew why he was being sued. You know, like it was fucking wild. Anyway, on that note, I need to piss like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you're right.
Damn, bro, I'm fucking pissed. I'm going can
You just went
4.
for a piss.
I'm can number 4.
You just went for a piss. Fuck, bro. I have one more.
You going?
I'll go one more. I'm almost done this one.
Right. This is the first time I've fucking drank in ages. I wanted to have a fucking drink, bro. You know what I'm saying?
He wants a full send it.
It's a full sender.
We'll get the cheers in then.
Yeah. Let's go. Cheers, my bro.
Fuck. Oh, it's coming.
Let's go. Cheers. Salute. Oh, fuck yeah. Dude, that podcast that I had last night was like 3.5 hours.
Damn.
I think like now that I have figured out the whole AI shit, I can have longer podcasts and it doesn't really bother me. But like back in the day, last week, I would do
in my day.
If I did an hour and a half podcast, I would edit for like 6 hours. But if I did a 3-hour podcast, I'd be editing for like at least 15 hours.
Fuck.
And that's like half a day. Like, well, no, that's a full day of like awake time.
See,
Lie to me.
AI is doing some good things,
bro,
but it's doing some fuck shit too.
Oh, let's go into it. What kind of fuck shit are you talking about?
Like, I just feel like the way it's good and bad. It depends on what side of the fence you're sitting on. Like, say with like beat makers and shit like that. Like beat makers, I can see like in the next 10 years, it's gonna be hard for beat makers to make money when you can literally get beats now with no copyright strikes.
I know. I have beats right now that have been created purely by AI.
Yeah.
And they're fire.
And same as producing. Like, you can get producing done by AI now as well.
Mm-hmm.
You just put in like what you want it to sound like, or like what type. Not even like an artist. Like, just say you want it to sound like some type of thing. You can put that in as well. Lyrics, bro. You put in
the Drake thing.
The more
Drake
deep
thing?
you go in, like
so
the Kanye one as well.
Are you talking about like AI replicating voices for lyrics?
Yeah, but like the voices is gonna be a hard one because you can obviously like they can copyright that. Like, it's gonna be hard if you want to sound like Drake. Like, it's the thing is, this is what I feel is like for artists that are original and they make music that's suited to them.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna thrive in the next 10 years because like anyone can go make a voice that sounds like this person. But if you got your own sound and you're rapping about topics that are about you or about something that's like harder to, you know, an AI is not going to be able to talk about my mum like unless I go into like this depth
if you write the lyrics, it can, and then you perform it, you layer your AI over the top of that, and then you could sound like Drake over the top of your voice.
Yeah, but do I want to sound like the next Drake or do I want to be the first BOW at the same time? You know, but I know what you mean. I know what you mean, yeah.
I don't think that you'll be able to make money at using Drake's voice because he hasn't sold his rights. Like, if you were to make a fucking song as Bruce Willis, because he sold his rights because he has like dementia and he can't talk anymore, so he sold his face and his voice through AI. Did you know that?
I did not know that. That's crazy.
Yeah. So he sold himself now.
Man, that is hectic. What about?
So look at this website, Soundroll.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the beat one, eh?
This is the beat one. Let me just. I'll work this website and show you how quickly it creates beats.
That's crazy.
All right. So let's go angry. Set the tempo. Let's go. Let's do a hip hop track, right? Let's go an angry hip hop track. So I've already clicked angry and it's already started creating music under angry. And then up here, you go genre, hip hop. So angry hip hop.
That's crazy.
And then the theme, we can do, let's go, fuck the theme, because that's more for video, because they create video as well.
Fuck.
So look, angry hip hop, and it's came up with this beat. Let's listen to it.
Fully structured and everything. It's crazy.
Yeah, and you can change these too. So it's like,
fuck.
You can have these like,
that's insane, eh?
Right? AI.
I know.
Not one of these instruments was played by a human. Think about that.
Yeah.
Not even the samples were created by humans.
Fuck, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Wait for the drop. I bet you it's fire. I bet you it's fire.
Yeah, you see that?
Weird, right? They just make it. I think it's like also like it doesn't understand how music should sound yet.
Yeah.
So it makes weird shit, and I kind of like it.
Yeah. Oh, it's different.
What is
you
this?
know?
What?
See the 808 slapping in the back.
No shit. That's fire.
That's crazy.
There's so much talent in Perth, man. There's so much talent.
And it's so diverse. And I feel like they're still waiting for that one person to just take off.
I don't think so. I think everyone's going to take off at the same time. That's the conclusion that I've come to now. Because everyone is kind of... Have you heard Haunts?
Yeah.
Haunts music?
Yeah, me and him are real good friends, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, do a track with him.
Yeah, we actually were. You're talking about the one, he looked like Eminem a bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's crazy, bro. He's dope.
He's going to blow up. He's actually... Like, that drill shit that he's getting into now, that's going to blow up.
Yeah.
I don't know why drill is, like, being attached... Like, it's, you know, it's got that whole, like, attachment to, like, the culture of nowadays and stuff. But I think it's got a lot to do with gun culture.
This next track I've dropped is actually a drill track. I just dropped a snippet on my Instagram recently.
Is it on the EP?
Nah, this is off the EP. This is just my next project. So I'm gonna drop 2 more projects before the EP.
Mm-hmm.
But my idea was to drop 3 different projects before I drop the EP. So I dropped like this Trials and Tribulations track, which is like really deep.
Yeah.
I'm gonna drop this next one. This is a drill piece, and then I'm gonna drop one after that that's more like sort of a summer vibe, like club banger type of different again. Yeah. And then I'm gonna give the people like my idea from this EP, like this West Coast type of EP.
Yeah.
It's not to do numbers or anything like that. It's to build myself a foundation for people to look back to in the years to come.
How can people get in touch with you, bro?
You can check me out Instagram, BLW the rapper. There's a link there to everything else.
It's in your bio?
Yeah, if you want to look it up, Spotify, BLW, YouTube, BLW.
It's at BLW the rapper, all one word?
Yeah, all one word. Yeah, that's
perfect.
the Instagram.
Yep,
yeah.
Cool.
And just BLW on YouTube and Spotify. Perfect. If you want to check me out on there. And yeah, get in touch. Let me know what you thought of the episode. Let me know what you think of my music. I'd love to get some feedback. And stay tuned for what's coming next.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
My guy, thank you so much for coming down.
I appreciate you. No, thanks, man.
That was fire as shit, bro.
Yeah, that was dope.
It was really good. Really good. Smiles, thanks for coming down too, bro.
Always supporting, man.
Oi, that's what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Roadshow. If you like the podcast, as always, like, share, and subscribe. We're not even on YouTube. I don't need to say that anymore. Fuck YouTube, bro. We're on Rumble, Spotify, Instagram, TikTok. You know, everywhere you get your fucking podcast value. Laters.
If you're down